Somebody said Kathy was being based in response to a question fielded by a reporter concerning that Politico article about the leaked Young Republicans group chat. Let me take a look at that.
Question? Politico reported on a group chat of a bunch of young Republicans. I'm wondering your thoughts on that, and does this reflect, is it just some bad young apples in this chat, or do you think that there's a toxicity around the entire party?
Some bad apples. These are the future of the Republican Party. This was so vile. It is hard to find the words to put into context that these are people who are part of a political party, one of two major political parties, and they believe in gas chambers and rape and discrimination based on the color of people's skins. These are racist, sexist, disgusting remarks. And I would say this. We have a leader from the Republican Party in this state, the highest ranking individual.
You know, one of the reasons why I'm so confident in saying that the Nazi support from young Republicans is vibes-based and is really just about appealing to the in-group bias and doesn't really stand by, there's not really much of an ideological conviction. You know how I know that? How many times have you seen the young, edgy Republican neo-Nazi archetype attack Mamdani? Oh, it's happened. But I bet you haven't seen it that much. Considering how much attention is drawn to Mamdani, not that much. Why? Because he's a young populist who gives them the energy that they want. Overwhelmingly, these people are like disaffected losers who are just looking for some kind of narrative about nation, about race, whatever else. And Mamdani provides them a narrative and provides them a mandate. And it's uncomfortable for them because there's like a disconnect. On one hand, he's a political enemy, but on the other hand, he gives them that feeling. So a lot of them stay quiet. It's not about Mamdani's politics. It's about his energy. Those young neo-Nazis had no problem going after Omar Fateh in Minneapolis, you know? He's Somalian, right? Because he doesn't have the same charisma, even though his policies are very, very, very similar. He's, black and doesn't have the same charisma. So it's very easy for them to attack him. Mamdani isn't white, but Mamdani is, he has this like young, like charismatic aura, this presence and so on. So I think it's difficult for them to attack him because like from their perspective, he's just another, change maker, right? He's another guy overturning the system. I don't really think there's much enthusiasm on the part of these young neo-Nazis to go after Mamdani. And you think there would be. Dude's literally Muslim. But again, they don't really care about Muslims. How modern Nazis feel about Islam depends entirely on the context. If they feel like talking about how rape is epic, they might say that Islam is based in red-pilled and trad-pilled because they think that Islam means you get to rape your wife or whatever. If they feel like being xenophobic, then they'll say, well, no, all Muslims should go back to the Middle East. But I've seen them waver in between these positions, sometimes like the same person in the same conversation. There's no, they don't believe in anything. I know I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Like and subscribe.
Who in the backdrop of all this calls our candidate for mayor, one of our candidates for mayor, a jihadist and a terrorist. And then somehow says, oh, what they said, these young Republicans was wrong. Like, look at what you say yourself. Look at your inflammatory words. And maybe they have an effect on these young people, many of whom you support and have supported you. And you ought to just do a little re-examination of how far this has gone, where this is normalized enough that thousands of texts are uncovered. This is not one person saying they love Hitler. This is a whole lot of people saying things that are so disgusting and so abhorrent that everybody from the president on down should condemn them. And there's got to be consequences.
Maybe it's naive on my part. I guess I've just always sort of earnestly hoped that if the left in America could take after Mamdani, we would have a 1,000-year paradise. America would become the ivory, the ivory city on the hill once more to the world. We would be the lighthouse. It would be a very nice direction to take things. This isn't weak. No, I'm fine with what Kathy's saying here. I mean, it's not optimized rhetoric, but it's fine. Listen, it's fine. I'm not criticizing here at all. I'm just talking about, like, if we could take the Mamdani direction as opposed to, like, when you are talking about politics with your friend group, remember those neo-Nazis. Remember how cringe and ineffectual they are. Remember how much they prioritize symbolic victories over actual. Remember how unsocialized they are, how poorly they take care of their own lives, how maladjusted they are, how distanced and divorced their positions are from reality, or what they say they want is from what they actually want. And don't be like that. I don't think you guys are at risk of being Nazis, but there's like a common thread of that like nihilism and that self-serving, ego-fueled, well, I'm just here to appeal to the friend group dynamic, the in-group, out-group distinction, where it stops being about victory and starts being about, you know, appealing to your crowd and your community. I used to do it. Oh, I used to do it. I'm just saying, it's good to learn from.
Them out of the party. Take away their official roles. Stop using them as campaign advisors. There needs to be consequences. This bullshit has to stop. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. I thought that was good rhetoric, personally, from her. Kathy has been doing good lately. She on ketamine or Botox? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking? You just see a lady? What are you talking about? Listen, everyone in politics gets facelifts. I'll tell you that much for free. Okay? Well, yeah. What are you going after the ladies for? You listen. You can only be misogynistic if the lady has done something bad. That's what it's allowed, okay? But in this case, we support the clip, so it's fine. The real permission giving actually is that it's always okay to be bigoted if you're funny, but that immediately ends bigotry, like in its real form, because real bigotry can't be funny. Wait, have you had a facelift? I'll totally get a facelift when I'm old. Sure, I don't give a shit. I don't care about this like moral puritanism with like, well, no, you have one body and it should never be altered. People are weird about that, you know? But I'm a little while away from that, you know. I still have pretty taut skin. It's extremely expensive if you want a good one. Well, then how about you kick that orange name up to a yellow one? Hey, Bagheer. What? That's what you say. You say, wah. Yeah? 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 You're being loud today. Every time your cat meows and the noise gate doesn't activate, I lose HP. You mean does activate? Like you can't hear the meow? I think you heard her, right? She was pretty loud. Little bit. Okay. A little treat, then. We heard a tiny meh. Okay, all right, okay. Sorry, I only have so much control over OBS's noise gate settings, you know? You can fiddle with compressors and limiters, but the general noise gate setting just has a couple of modes.